Very good morning to everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, great. So we will give some time for the rest to join in. So we will start the latest by 9:10. So we want to have more participants to be in. So just give 5 to 10 minutes, and then by latest by 9:10 we will start the session.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to all of you. I hope you can hear my voice clearly. So, today we are from CG Gamification will become an opener for the last day of Refresher series brought by CIDL UITM. So before we start our presentation, I would like to give some brief explanation and introduction for our CG Gamification. So under CG Gamification, we have 3 members and 1 leader. And together with us today, we have our leader, Dr. Prasanna Ramakrishnan, a senior lecturer from Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Science. And we also have one of our member, TS Dr. Muhammad Izzuan Ismail, a senior lecturer from Faculty of Applied Science. And I, Nur Ain binti Abu Bakar, will be your moderator for today, coming from the Faculty of Accountancy. If you have any question throughout the session, you can raise your hand and I would like you to speak, or you can type your question in the chat box so that we can address the question right after our briefing session. So without further delay, I would like to invite to the floor our leader, Dr. Prasanna Ramakrishnan, to give a brief introduction about our CD gamification. So please welcome Dr. Prasanna.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ain, and very good morning to everyone. So this is brought to you by CIDL, so series of CG refreshers, where we introduce our CGs. And yeah, as what Ain said along the way, so if you have anything, you can just put it in the chat so we can able to assist you. And we will have quite a number of time later at the end to have any questions, Q&A we can take from you, right? So what we will be covering today. Okay, we will do a very brief introduction. What is gamification is all about, because there's always a confusion between gamification and game-based learning and all that. So we will also, give you the difference between gamification and game-based learning for those of you coming from a non-IT background, or not familiar with what the terms means. Very brief one. And also in the classroom, how basically we applied. We don't only talk about CG in webinars. We also apply in the classroom. Like myself, I personally apply inside the classroom for my students, and I also will apply in a classroom, and Dr. Izwan also apply in the classroom. So this is why I say that you can apply in any faculty, any students. The gamification can be applied across. So we will also share to you what are the things that usually we do and we have done, and some of the achievements and activities and initiative through the gamification. That means, although if you do it in the classroom, you can always bring it up into a publication and also innovation, which is our KPI as a lecturer. So what you do in your classroom can be extended, so which we also personally advise a lot of lecturers, those who came to us with a scheme of work or with a lesson plan, how they want to integrate. We also assist them on doing that. And we also will share our way forward. What are we working on? Although our members is quite small, we are actually doing quite a number of things along together, so that a lot of examples can be given to the lecturers, especially those who come and approach us. Okay. And we will look into the introduction. So the basic concept of gamification is very most important thing that everyone should know is gamification is not game, right? It's basically using game elements and principles in non-game environment. So that is why that if you see, of course, I'm teaching in computer science, you all will say, yeah, I can apply because I'm talking about coming from an IT background. But Ain and Dr. Izwan is not from IT background. They are coming from accountancy and also my biology base. But they also can use gamification in the classroom, meaning that gamification can be applied across in languages, in any faculties can be applied, as long as you're able to understand how the game mechanics, principles, and also the element works, right? So these are the things can be embedded in teaching and learning, especially to create a more fun and interactive environment. Because we don't want students to come into the class, listen to our lectures only. But when we apply gamification in the classroom, automatically the environment becomes fun and interactive and more engaging. Why more engaging? Because when you see students play game, right? So why they play game? Because they are very interested and engaged. The same concept can be done in a teaching environment by embedding these elements inside. So this eventually will motivate them to continue to learn, right? This is what we want to do in gamification. So these are the members that's working together, right? Before that, let me go through the objective first. So our objective is to improve teaching and learning experience. So anyone comes to us and they want to change the way they teach. Gamification works very well if you do flipped classroom. So I'm not sure how many of you familiar with flipped classroom, because now a lot of our courses are in blended learning mode. So in blended learning mode, what happens is you have an online component and also classroom component. So the classroom component where you can embed the gamification, where you can engage student with activities and so on. So some of you say that, no, I don't want to do gamification, but I want to use game-based learning. This is also some we can also advise to certain extent if you want to use game-based learning. But our focus is always gamification, right? That's our main intention, to gamify the learning environment. And also, we continuously work on method tools to improve the teaching and learning through innovations like gamification based or game based learning experience. So we also try to come up with the tools for the lecturers, some methods and approaches that you can replicate. So we test in our classroom first. So we will conduct some trainings and also webinar, and we will explain to them. So our trainings and webinar is always attached with the ILD trainings. So if you see in ILD trainings, you can see gamification, game-based learning, and so on. So this is where we will come in and bring the tools and share with you. So sometimes I'll come, sometimes Dr. Izwan will come. So we take turns, and sometimes both of us will be there. So we will try to explain to you what are the tools. So when we talk about tools, we have range of tools. What you see generally that you're seeing now, is also a tool that you can use for teaching learning. They have game-based component inside and also gamification component inside, so which you can use in your classroom. So these are the tools usually we will share with the lecturers. So they have the free version, of course. They have a free version, but free version always limited, as you know, and they also have the licensed version. But as far as I know, free version can do a lot, right, Ain? Correct? Yeah, because Ain is a very, I will say, a pengguna yang tegar, and generally she like to use generally. So can be used. Even the free version, you can do a certain extent to gamification. If you don't want to use, all these tools, you want to do it yourself. Even like what I do in my classroom in online environment, I try to engage with the gamification also, but I don't use sometimes the tools. I try to embed the challenge and the stages in solving the problem and so on. So that type of things also you can do. So these are the things that we will do in our series, right? And lastly, we try to educate the lecturers, right, on the gamification. So these are our three main objective. So this is our team. Okay, if you look at our team, they're coming from across campus, all right? Why across campus? Because we want the approaches, the things, ideas coming from the lecturers who are in campus too, right? So those of you like interested, want to join our team, you can always email me or message me. And we also trying to expand, but just that we are not getting the right members coming in, right? So when we have the right members, we will try to expand. Those who are very interested, eager to try on using gamification in the classroom, and you want to be joining our team in our projects and approaches, you can always roger me. We can always consider having more members inside, right? So currently these are the members: myself, Dr. Izwan, Ain, and also Samsul, right? So they're coming from different. For your information, Ain and Dr. Izwan from all the way from Muka, UITM Muka, and Samsul is from Jasin, and myself from Shah Alam. So we have, throughout the campus, right? So this is our members. And going back where we started, the gamification and also the game-based learning, what is the difference? This is the one I will say consider the main thing that we want to inform to everyone today actually. So gamification is application of game elements. It's not, game itself. It's the application of the game elements, the principles, the mechanics in improving experience. So our focus is improving the learning experience, right? You can also use it in other industry, like mostly they use it in trainings, they use it in business, right? So it's not about playing the game, but instead you use the elements like the badges, the system, the points, and all that. So I give you one example. So if you want to gamify your classroom in a very quick way is, we have issues usually engaging the students in Q&A, right? So you can always tell the student at the beginning of semester or beginning of certain topics that you want to gamify the entire learning process. You can tell them, okay, students that ask questions, you're given certain experience points. Those who answer to the questions given certain experience point. So this experience point can be collected and redeemed for certain behavior or certain tasks. Like example, extension of due date. Rather than giving them extension immediately, so you can look into the points given and you can do a redemption system example. So these are the things can be easily managed using your excels, simple excel templates, and you can do that. Or you can go further automating it by using customized templates, like what we have, right? Later I'll show to you the templates that we have roughly, so which we will also teach to the lecturers during our training sessions. So these are the example. That means you can gamify the classroom environment by gamification, by using the mechanics and also principles of game, not by playing. Let's say you want to have a game and ask them to teach, right, certain things, right? So that is what we call as game-based learning, right? So that's totally different. That means they play the game to learn. So first you have a story. After the story, you have some exploration inside where they go, they solve the problem. So these are the things is like games, right? So the games is, game-based learning. Gamification is totally different, nothing to do with game. So you can have some, cards or something, you learn through that, and all that is gamification, two different things. So that's why that when you come to us with your lesson plan, we will look into it and we will also advise, okay, these are the things that you can do, or what you want to do. You can also explain to us, then we see what are the things that you can replicate from us. Or we also advise, I do advise something new to them. So depending on case by case, because gamification, I will say that um, it's not that everything that fit all your lessons, right? So every lesson plan will have a different way or a different approach. So we have to modify to fit into our classroom. Sometimes you cannot 100% adapt. Some yes, but some can't. You have to do the modification. So that is the difference between gamification and also game-based learning, right? Okay. So how we basically apply this to our students, right? So how we do it. So I'll show to you some samples. The samples is ranging from 2018 to 2024. So these are some of the samples that we have applied. So which is the first one was, I mean, of course, the oldest, right? So the oldest is we started with concepts, designs, and idea, because when we established, everybody also knew, all coming in, trying to see what we can do. Also we also meet in innovation. Like myself, I meet Dr. Izwan in an innovation. So we join together, then we come up with a CG so that we can work together. And we started getting some awards, and also our finding that we have got published, and also started the CG gamification. Of course, it's all started with the idea, and from there we try to expand and we see how we can help the lecturers at UITM. Then we started, and then whatever we do in our classroom, we try to publish, right? So there's publication, and then we Dr. Izwat has been become a few speakers, and he been going a lot. I basically work behind. I never go in front because I'll push my CG members. I always tell them go in front. I'll be working at the back because I was very busy with other things. I was doing the U Future and so on. So I let them to do. So tell them, okay, you go forward, you do it. So they do a lot of speaking, they do publication and everything. So just recently, I started involving more myself inside, but usually I'll be just working behind together with them. Then after that, we go in, especially working with the students competition and mentoring them, trying to replicate. We have one success story where student replicated the product that we have done, and student have involved in the competition. So our intention not only for the lecturers, we also want the student to use it. So this is also another success story that you can see students are able to replicate whatever have done in the classroom. Okay, some of the examples has been IP. So we actually, our members have about 12 registered IP based on what we do in our classroom. So these are some of it. The EXP, gamification in higher education. I think this is kind of the oldest with the Excel sheets where we always give the template to the lecturers, the simplified one during our trainings, and ask them to expand, and we teach them how to modify the templates, and they can use it in their classroom. And then we have another one for performance assessment tracking system. This is for the students. And then we have ratio analyzer red. This is more to business purpose. If you want to apply into a business environment, because we have accountancy, we have IT, and then we have biology. So we are able to use it in many areas. And then there's another one which basically won a lot of award. I will say deadly microbes. So this is a lot of award has been won. I'll share to you some of it later. And gamification, classroom gamification, where group breaks. This is using rubric for individual and also for group. That means one rubric that can be adapted inside and gamified for the assessment, right? So that's that. I won't go through the project detailedly because the project details will be done during our training session where we share. So I'm just showing to you what are the things that we have done. And lastly is something new, which is student applied, extended what we've been doing, and they have come up with the cellular odyssey, right? So this is another project by student where they are able to replicate what we do into another project for student. And so these are some of the screens. I'm just showing you the screenshots. So this is offline products under Excels that we have. Rubrics. This is rubrics based. Of course, we do have inside our learning management system, but this usually what we do is before we bring it into a bigger system, we try it in Excel first. So all this is being tested in Excel. So if expandable, then we will look into the system base, right? So rubrics is one of it, and rubrics is using a rubric for individual and also for group-based assessment. And then we have EXP. This is the longest, I think, how long, Aim? Since we started, right?
Since
Yeah, this one,
2017 when I was in
2017.
school,
17,
right? Yeah.
2018, right? Way before started, we had the first version, second version, and then modified to many version where you can use it in a classroom with a personalized dashboard. Everything starts with a basic and pilot. So when it's workable, then we will look into extending it into a system base. So this is also we are trying to work out to be in a system. So we are working out. So it works very well. We tested it really working. So we're trying to see whether we can extend it into a system, full working system development. And if it works, I think it will be great. EXP. This is offline first, all. Then we have the business also offline, mostly using Excel. So using ratio analyzer, right? And then next is the performance assessment trackers, where you can track the performance, right? The students' assessment. So we have a tracking system that's working with assists to track the students in coursework assessment. This is also quite good. Especially if you have a data and you want to plug it in and you want to check the performance, it can actually test the performance. Okay, this is some of the offline. And we also card base. We also have our card base. Okay, we started with the biology because Izwan was very, into working with the, his subject. We started with biology and has been winning a lot of innovation competition. And that was replicated into a student product where we have the Mitotic Saga and Cellular Odyssey, which is, currently we are working. He's working, Izwan working. And we are also looking into extending it into learning programming, which we are planning to do it, somehow by this year, and to learn basic programming into schools and also students that's coming in to give a very basic programming using this kind of card-based learning, right? So this is what we are doing. And there's also a project headed for what we call as MOM for pregnancy women. So this is from Dana Kajian Social. So although not much, we are able to do some projects. So this is, you have a storyline, then you pick the storyline, then you go deep. So you have some experience. So this is all example, and this is all working with biology team, right? So this is one currently ongoing, right, project that we have. And these are the total by the entire CG members. I just put all together, we put together. So from 2018 to 2024, so these are the number of innovations we basically brought whatever we are doing in the classroom, and we just share. And these are some. Why I'm showing you this is, um, we don't want you to stop at only applying in the classroom, but we also want you to think about how you can convert it into an innovation and slowly change it to a paper. Because requirement nowadays, the requirement for us is, of course, TNL is important, and you must have some papers and also some innovation. So these are the things that you can, once you have done, you can apply it, right? You can apply whatever you have done in the classroom into an innovation or paper base. Okay, and this is some of the awards and also recognitions through our products that we've been doing. So we will continuously do, and these are some of the papers. All right. This is all we will go through with you during our sessions, how you basically do and how you basically write and go to innovations. We will try to share during the webinar series and also hands-on series, right? So you can find it actually. So impact. So what we have, contributed. So we have, the cards, physical cards that's, successfully designed by the students, and also won some innovation competition. And also we have, because this one, whatever we do when the student do it, so we try to bring it to the competition. I always encourage my team members. I say, push further, see what you can do, you do it, right? And then we have proceedings to publications. And then, yes, Izwan and the team has basically did a showcase by students at Jo Masuk U for 2024, and also for community showcase set 2024. This is all the past one. And we also demonstrated to community at for the program under ecotourism, and also in the schools, and trying to commercialize the cards and document the projects by having the gamification and game-based learning in the learning processes. So these are things that we try to bring impact. So not only applying, but we try to give impact back to the students and also to community. And this is our current project that we are looking into. So we have one under Dana, and we also continuously conduct research on the student experience, because when we are doing the products or when you're testing approach in the classroom, we try to test the student experience and see how is it going on. This is very important so that you can improve in the next cycle. Remember, whatever approach that we do, you cannot get a perfect one at the first cycle. It takes few cycles. Don't get offended when you do it fails, because teaching and learning is all about, I feel for me, teaching and learning approaches is all about testing. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So if it doesn't work, don't give up. Not that your method is wrong, meaning that there's something that you have to change. So you change it and you bring it again, right? And also we want to promote gamification through STEM exhibitions and also community and university events, give them exposure how it can be applied. And we want to continue to develop, as what I mentioned just now. We want to look into other areas and we see how you can innovate TNL so that we can give them more example, especially to the lecturers, how you can apply gamification. And we do a lot of mentoring for UITM lecturers and students. So some do email me, some do message me. Yes, we do a lot of mentoring. Of course, we encourage them to do it, and we will assist them, right? So we will assist them. So unless they want to join together or they want us to, be part of the team, also can, but you just have to email me and we will try to give you the best options that you can take from there. And what is our way forward? So our way forward, of course, we are looking into hands-on training. I mean, we've been doing gamification week and we was doing a lot of trainings. And then we slowed down a bit because we were focusing on doing all these projects, innovation projects, and we were assisting small group of lecturers and also students to replicate whatever we've been doing. So now we want to focus back for the training because we have new lecturers coming in, and then the training has been like quite long gap. So we are looking into online trainings. We are also looking into symposium and abstract books, and looking into because the one of the grant is going to finish, so we are also looking into another grant, see what we can do in education sectors. Consultancy is what going on. That means we've been doing, right? And also innovation competition and gamification and game-based learning. Also, we are looking at webinar series. So these are the things that, what we will be doing in coming. And of course, CIDL, through CIDL, we don't move ourselves. Through CIDL, all this will be done. So we will submit a paperwork to CIDL for approval. And then through CIDL, we will try to initiate whatever we can to help the lecturers, right? So I think that's all from us. And if you have any questions, you can reach out. I think my number is everywhere. Most of you have it. You just Google my number, you have it. So if you have anything, you can just drop me a WhatsApp, and then we're able to assist you in whatever way possible. We will try to assist the lecturers. Those who contact me, I will go all out to assist you. So we will see the best options that you have and give you some, suggestion on how you can gamify your classroom, right? So with this, I think I'm ending the, slide session, but we're going to have some Q&A because you might have some questions that you want to ask us and things like that. So we have a few minutes before we end the session because we're going to have another session that's going to go on at 10 a.m. So now I open the floor for Q&As, or pass it back to Ain first, right? Ain?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Prasanna, for a brief introduction about our CG gamification. So, to all of the colleagues that attend our session today, after all, for the period of 7 years, that is what we have been doing and what the achievement that we attain for our KPI as well for the CG KPI. So, if you have any question, I'd like to invite any one of you to ask your question so that we can address your concern. Anyone? Any question?
Anything in the chat, Ain?
So far, no. Okay. Oh, very good audience ni. Dia tak ada soalan pula nak tanya. So, maybe before we end the session or while waiting for the question, I would like to invite TS Dr. Muhammad Izwan maybe to give some brief, explanation to guys about how to incorporate gamification in the context of the classroom. So, TS Dr. Izwan, you may start with your explanation.
Sorry, good morning all. Just one question from me. Okay, I'm Dr. Mary from Penang.
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to find out if in case we want to have a hands-on training about this gamification, do you all provide the training in campuses?
Yes, we do. You can send us the invitation
Okay.
To CIDL, not to us, to CIDL, and we will do a necessary arrangement to the campus.
So you will come down to campus, is it?
We will
Yeah.
try our best to come down. If you want a
Okay. So
physical one,
physical one. I mean, you will need a day course, lah. Is it a day course or half day?
okay, it's all depending on you because we have 2 day session, we have 1 day. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
depending on what you want actually. Then we will customize the module for you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I will email to CIDL. Huh?
And CC to me, yeah, please,
Okay.
for
Okay.
me to
Thank you.
follow up with CIDL.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hey, Dr. Izwan, maybe you want to share a little bit recap of how we apply gamification in the context of the classroom?
Okay. So thank you, Naim. Thank you, Dr. Sana, for the introduction earlier. I hope everyone can hear me. While waiting for the audience to think about the questions they want to ask, I'll just buy you all a bit of time, lah. Okay. So generally, what Dr. Prasanna has explained previously was quite thorough. Covered everything. Just to sort of share a bit of my experience in designing and developing the systems and the games for my courses, is that when I initially started in UiTM in 2016, the whole EXP system actually just started off as um, the situation was that my students were too quiet. I asked questions, and then they did not respond. So what I did was I simply proposed to them, if anyone asks any questions or answer my question, I will give you 1 point. Whatever that point was for, I still had no idea. So what Dr. Prasanna mentioned just now, that this is all trial and error. The phrase that I find to be very useful in this type of work, this type of study, is iterative design. Meaning to say, you see a problem, you test something, and then you see if it works, see what does not work, and then you improve it. Our gamification system generally relies on a lot of iterative designs. So the EXP system that we presented earlier is generally a product of like 7 years of development, and it's as Dr. Prasanna mentioned, is run fully in Excel. And ever since the COVID struck, we adapted it to Google Sheets, so students can view their EXP in real time. So from what I've gathered, the improvements on the students' engagement and participation in class have occurred lah. Essentially, since earning the points, they can use that for things that are quite common in classroom activities. You hear a lot of students requesting, saya boleh tak saya nak dalam report lambat, saya boleh tak kalau saya nak present balik my presentation. So rather than students negotiating merayu-rayu, which I do not prefer, we treat it as like a currency. You earn EXP, whatever you want to redeem based on the system, you can redeem. No questions asked. You have enough points, you will get the points. As Dr. Prasanna mentioned earlier as well, that we've done several like sessions on training lectures on how to develop their own gamification. Yes, I do agree with what Dr. Prasanna mentioned, that a lot of you will find a bit of difficulty in figuring out what to gamify. So as sort of a brief explanation of what we do to train, is that we try to guide you to figure out what exactly that the problem statement of that you're experiencing with your students. So we break it down into simple concepts, and then we try to target them one by one. So we try to make it as light as possible so that the lecturers can adapt to the whole gamification and game-based learning in their daily life. Essentially, we do not want lecturers to feel overwhelmed. A lot of the tools that are available when it comes to gamification, they are very technical. So when you look up the tool, they require you to have certain knowledge on how to use the tools, on how to design stories, on how to create all these characters and whatnot. So lecturers tend to get overwhelmed, which is one of the big issues of gamification, is that it really requires a lot of dedication on the lecturer's part, which I do agree. So what we do in the gamification CG is we try to guide lecturers, help lecturers to make it as approachable as possible so that lecturers can adapt and adopt these gamification systems and approaches in the easiest way possible. Just a bit of a highlight, again, as gamification, we don't change the way that we carry out our classes. The gamification, simply we carry out classes as normal. It's just that we add a few elements to encourage students to participate. So classes go on as normal, but we the term that we like to use is modulate the behavior of the students in the direction that we feel is suitable that improves their learning experience. Okay. And moving on regarding the game-based learning approaches that we've developed, number one is the card games that Dr. Prasanna has mentioned, so the Deadly Microbes and Topic Saga and Cellular Odyssey. So Dr. Prasanna mentioned that the Deadly Microbes was initially developed in-house. So I've used it as a mechanism to teach students about microbes, about antibiotics, about antimicrobial resistance and whatnot. And then we turned it into a card game to teach that first. Initially, it was just a simple pen, paper, draw, very roughly only just to see if it works, and it works. And then we slowly adopted it to make it into a proper game. And the approach that I have discovered while developing the game, one thing that we tried to incorporate into the gamification CG is, for example, we turn game design as part of student assessment, meaning to say that students are assessed based on their ability to design games. So this was carefully crafted to ensure, in my class, for example, it's a biology-related class, it's a biochemistry class, but the students were required to design a game to see whether or not they are able to explain the topic that they are learning through the use of the games. So this was done last semester as a pilot study, and we've successfully designed 5 card games, and out of the 5, 2 of the card games were picked up and proceeded with registration to my IPO, and we submitted to a few competitions as well. We managed to receive gold awards and silver awards and whatnot. So to say that the use of game-based learning and gamification has a lot of potential if done correctly. So I just like to point out that a lot of the issues with gamification, when applied without the proper intention, it tends to break down. Like most games, if you were to look at video games, for example, there's a lot of video games, but there's not a lot of good video games. So gamification is the same. There's a lot of gamification, but there's not a lot of good gamification. And it's tailored to, especially when we consider UiTM as a very big university with many fields, many disciplines. So we cannot do a one size fit all. So we have to do a bit of a tailoring essentially. So hopefully by us providing training and providing courses to help educate the lecturers in the future, we would be able to better equip lecturers with the skills and the knowledge necessary for them to start making their own. As I mentioned again, the Excel that we designed previously will all start from scratch, bottom up. We don't rely on software, we don't rely on existing tools. We just figure out what do I want to improve for my students' experience in their learning. And then we just design something simple. It doesn't have to be Excel, it can be pen and paper. And then just explain the system to the student. For example, like you ask questions, I give points. It's simple as that. And then we see how it modifies and improves the students' behavior and experience in class. So I think that's generally it. I don't want to talk too long, 100%.
No, it's okay because it's good for us to share because what Dr. Izwan shared just now is what we will be doing in hands-on workshops. I just went through roughly, showed to you the screens, but this is what we will, explain in our workshops, how we can customize the templates and so on. And other than that, what we like personally, how I basically use in the classroom, especially online environment. Mine is focused on online environment, right? His one is more on offline. So online environments, how it is applied, offline, how it's applied. We will show you not only the concept, we will show you extending to the concept, the hands-on. So how we do it. So in our classroom. So this is, I will say, this is one of the advantage. Not only talking about the concepts, we also show you some of the hands-on and how you do it with our own examples in our classrooms. And we have across, not only one area, we have biology, accounting, and also computer science. Myself teaching practical skills, right? I'm teaching practical skill, programming skills, things, Pythons and so on. So how we can extend it into our classroom. And Iswan is teaching biology. So biology, a lot of context, mine is skill, his concept. And Ain is also going to be skill more on calculation, how we actually do it in our classrooms. So this is what we will explain to you in our upcoming webinar series and also upcoming, training under ILD. If you have any personal requests, you can always send to CIDL for requests, right? So also we are promoting. So when the session is open, please join us. We will have more to share with you. I think that's all from us. Ain, ada lagi any questions?
I don't have any question in the chat box right now. And I think there is no one raise hand or unmute the microphone. So pretty much say that we can wrap up the session. So for all my clique here, especially non-gamers, do not worry much because me too is coming from non-gamers background. However, in the context of gamification, right, it is something doable. It's not that complex. We can do it if we have a right assistant and guidance, and pretty much you guys can do it. And for your information, here in Muka, I and Dr. Izwan is not teaching our faculty program. We are servicing. So we are trying very hard to incorporate our discipline, our main focus in our study to the student that coming from the various background and definitely not coming from our original faculty. So if you have this kind of fear whether it is workable because you are servicing lecturer and not, we already did it and we prove to the student and to all of the people that we attend the innovation and we get some recognition. And pretty much moving forward, I think with the new Pekeliling academic, the student need to pass continuous assessment. This is what we have been doing throughout gamification before by giving them some opportunity maybe to resubmit, maybe to redo some sort of assessment. So pretty much it will benefit the student when this how to say policy of Pekeliling will come in force very soon. So that is all from us. If you have
I think somebody raised up their hand just now.
oh, okay, sorry. Can I see which hand? Cannot hand. Okay. You can unmute your microphone and you can ask the question. Tak nampak dah tangan siapa tu.
Itulah. I saw somebody raising up, then suddenly missing. Is it accident?
Terangkat tangan ke? Oh, macam mana?
Okay, it's okay. I think we are done with the session, but we will be
Okay.
here until everybody leaves. So if you have any questions, you are shy to ask, you can just wait. We will assist you. Right. So that's all from us. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. So we will catch up in our sessions. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Ain, Dr. Izwan.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Welcome.
Hi, Dr. Chen. Yes.
Hi, Dr. Prasanna and the team. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I'm just too shy to ask the question.
No, it's okay. It's
I
okay.
just
We
have
are
a
here.
quick question. Could
Yeah.
you please share with me your experience regarding registering the My IPO and also publications? How shall we put the contributions of the students into these two domains?
Okay. You see, if the student contributed, usually how I work, maybe Ain can share later. So like for me, if let's say student is the one doing first, so usually what I do is I put their name first.
Hmm.
Because
But if
we
let's
know
say a
the
group there are like 5 or 6 students, quite a big,
I think it's
quite a
not
big crowd, like 7 to 8.
it's depending on the contribution, because usually if you have, let's say you have 2 publication or you have some innovation, some write-up, right? So maybe some student involved in the write-up, so you can put their name in the write-up. Some only involved in the development, then you can put it under development. So it's depending on what is the task distribution, how much they have contributed to the writing, and also usually student will contribute more in innovation, not on the writing.
Developing, yes, yes, yes. So
So
they are not
developing,
much contributing
yeah,
in
developing you
writing and
can like IPO, or even in innovation you can put quite number of maximum people in the thing. So far, I think no issues. But it's all goes to the number of contributions. So if you are heading the project and it's you and students are taking part as part of it, then you can put them underneath, right? But if it's going to be student project, then you will be at the bottom. But you can always be the corresponding. You
okay,
can
but
be
what
the
about like
corresponding.
innovation competition? Usually they have like maximum of 5 members or 3 members for some of the
This is
terms
where
and
you have to decide the contributions. You can't put everybody in. So you can put under acknowledgement later at the bottom, but whoever have done contributed there. What personally I do is I split them. So maybe this one I have a 3 or 4, and then the other one I have 3 or 4. So separate. If you have more students, maybe Ain can share what you all do.
Okay. Good morning, Doctor. So thank you for the question. So here in Sarawak, what we have been doing, normally we will assign the team to the classroom, and the student can pick up their member who they are comfortable to work with, and then every group will come with their prototype and concept. So first we use pen and paper because of the budget constraint. And then we ask the
mm,
student to test play the game across the table lah, meaning to say they find another participant, senior or junior, to try the game. And then if we have the competition or innovation opportunity, we normally will ask the student if they are willing to compete in that how to say competition lah. So normally we will seek budget from HCP or ICANN. They do have a lot of budget to sponsor the student in terms of innovation. So at some competition, we don't even become a members. Like me and Dr. Izwan, we let student handle everything. So we just assist as a mentor. But when come to publication, of course, they need some senior member in the write-up. So like Dr. Prasanna did, if the idea, concept, design, and student do most of the work, we put them as the first author. And in the KPI record, we still get the corresponding author because student is not counted as a staff publication record under the prime. So what we did is to give a fair chances to everyone. We let them to pick the team, pick the project, and do the game or whatever they want to do. And when we test play, so if they think they want to compete, then we give them opportunity in the campus, outside the campus, national, international level. If they don't have any confidence to do that, we just record it as a teaching and learning experience lah in term of students. So in term of number of members, I think when they already choose their team members, right, normally they will work all together, and in that regard, you can put a maximum number of a team member in the particular context. Of course, not all the product they develop will go for the competition. So sometimes you have to pick the best two, the best three. But by allowing them to do the process, designing, implementing, playing, and so on, they will work and take it seriously if they want to go and compete outside the campus. So I hope some insight can give some idea to Doctor. That is what we have been doing lah. Mm.
So Dr. Chen,
what if the students they have developed the products but they do not want to go for extra mile, go for any competition or publication, but it is a very,
Okay.
very good product to share with.
Mhm. So normally we will have agreement. We will inform the student if you think you want to let go this product because you want to move the campus and so on. Can I take your product and then turn it into something that will benefit society or community? So if the student normally tak apalah, madam ambil, doktor ambil, then you can bring and then reclaim it as your product lah, because they do not want to have any attachment with that kind of product. But this honest, how to say, conversation must happen before we take the credit on behalf of them lah. That is my opinion lah, Dr. Chen. Mm.
you must have a kind of written agreement
Written agreement. Okay.
with the
Got it.
student, because we don't want later we have any issues. So we give them
Yes,
an
yes.
option to be co-author or co-researcher, But if they're not willing to go extra miles, but they just want to let it go, they say that we can expand it later into a product. So make it clear, then you can move forward from there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for the insights.
Okay,
Have a
welcome.
nice
So
day.
Dr.
Take care,
Prasanna,
everyone.
that's all for our session. I'd like to
Yeah,
pass to the
so
next
I think
CD.
that's all. Okay, bye-bye everyone. See you all.